All right, let's get into part 2, talking about Coriolis, the Third Horizon, and this part is going to be all about creating a character. Now, I have an hour and a half long character creation video. I don't know why it's an hour and a half long. Obviously, it was done on a live stream, so you can see the step-by-step process of creating a character. Hopefully, I did it correctly. I don't remember it. It was a while ago, and yeah, so that exists. But now we're going to go with you. We're going to read through the book. We're going to check the process out, what happens, what the step-by-steps are, because you're going to, especially if you compare this to Mutant Year Zero, you're going to find that there are a lot of differences now, yet it still plays out the same way. We believe that role-playing games should take place in fantastic worlds. The focus of the game should be on role-playing and having a good time. The core values of #RPGate and any good tabletop group are escapism, not representation, entertainment over activism, and natural, organic inclusion, not forced diversity. The charity we support is the Wounded Warrior Project, a national, nonpartisan organization whose mission is to honor and empower wounded warriors. Please refer to the description below for the link to where you can make your hopefully tax-deductible donation. Join us Thursday and Saturday evenings on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth to watch Heathen Dog and his team of dirty casuals play multiplayer games for your mockery and enjoyment. Here on our YouTube channel, you can watch these game-related segments live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time, or check out the Friday Night Chill stream where our panel of guests opine, comment, and editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Please like this video and leave a comment to appease the algorithm gods. Share this video on your favorite social media platforms to help us peer out of the shadows cast over us. And if you have not done so already, please subscribe to Legion of Myth for more tabletop RPG goodness. All right, start us off by looking at the character sheet. If you watch the Mutant Year Zero series, you're going to say, hey, that looks kind of familiar. And there are a lot of similarities. Let's see if I can zoom in on this thing. I can. Look at that. Got strength, agility, wits, empathy, just like Mutant Year Zero. Now, hit points and mind points are something that are a little different, and we will get into that later. Name, background, concept, icon. Again, a few more things up here, but they will relate to your character. Group, concept, reputation, personal problem. Okay. Appearance, relationships. Again, if you haven't seen them, don't worry about it. But if you've watched the Mutant Year Zero ones, all of this should look familiar to you. Radiation. At least it's not called rot now. Radiation. Yeah. Experience, talents, gear. This, by the way, I'm just going to be upfront with you. This is not enough lines for talents. Skills. Now, do you notice something different about these skills?
Can
you see them?
I can't see them very well.
Okay, let's see if zooming in helps a little bit.
There aren't a lot of them.
Well, there are 12 before. How many are there now? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It's actually more.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The thing is, you notice that even though they're written over here, they're not underneath an attribute heading. They're also broken into this little tiny word here, general and advanced. And we will talk more about what that means later. There are now general skills and advanced skills. And again, gear, armor, obviously in a sci-fi game. You met sure. A cabin. It's not called what was it called before? I forget what it was called in Year Zero already. Tiny items, notes, etc. So there you go. There's your basic character sheet for Coriolis. A very beautiful character sheet. I like it. I don't know how many people actually print them out in color, but I do like the way that looks. So now let's get into the actual book and start talking about some of this. There's our wonderful Coriolis book right there. And was it page 17? Or characters. Let's talk about how to... Hey, that should have been centered, jerk. So the first thing you do in Coriolis when making a character is you determine what kind of group you're going to be. And this will actually have game effects on your characters. Now, theoretically, you can do what you want. But like with the whole concept of the ship being, you owe on the ship, just to give you an easy starting point, these group ideas also do the same thing. You have a concept and then a sub-concept. So let's just look at this first one. We're not going to read through all of the concepts. We'll look over some of the skills and some of the PCs of the sub-concepts, but we're not going to read everything. But we will read free traders just because it's the first one. So let me start here with create your group. Create the group concept. Pick your spaceship.
Make that bigger, please.
I can. Yep, absolutely. So you're going to pick your group concept. Pick your spaceship. We are not going to look at spaceships today. You are going to just have to wait for that. Pick your group talent. If they're listed here, which I think they are, we'll look at them, but we're not going to define them. We'll do that later. Next week, as a matter of fact. Pick your patron. Pick your nemesis. And all of these play in, if you remember before. Now, your patron is probably the person that owns your ship. Or it could just be somebody who, it's Charlie from Charlie's Angels. It's somehow it's somebody that you can go to for adventure if you need that. And pick your nemesis. That's the person who's out to get you. See, that captain that Heathen Dog talked about, whose life insurance was bequeathed to you, actually had a relative who wants his ship back. Or whatever. So let's see what it says for free traders. Commerce is what greases the wheels of the Third Horizon, and the hub of trade in the region is the space station Coriolis. The free traders are the entrepreneurs and innovators of the horizon, embracers of the new order, with few exceptions. Tariffs, tolls, and bureaucrats looking to make a quick buck abusing the trade system are all things despised by any free trader. As free traders, you will portal jump between different systems of the Third Horizon, hauling everything from goats on ice or farm machinery to candied Cabra bugs and illegal Vulcan carbines. In small freighters or enormous bulk haulers, you travel silent routes in an ocean of cold starlight, slipping past corrupt toll collectors, blockade ships, and corsairs is all part of your thrilling lives. You're kind of possibly a smuggler, maybe. You might start off innocently enough, but guess what?
Hey, smuggling's got good money.
Smuggling's got good money.
End of the month, that bill's due, you know?
Now, the concepts can be used for smugglers, bulk haulers, or couriers. That just kind of makes sense. But then there are sub-concepts. And you're going to look at this and be like, where's this all come from? When we look at the character classes at the end of this video, you will see where all this comes in. I don't want to scroll down to page 45 or whatever it is when we're only on 18 right now. But if you want to play a negotiator, which is the name of the character class, you probably pick the peddler sub-concept, which is built. So the character classes come as the character class, and then it'll give you 3 sub-concepts. Doesn't mean you have to. What this is saying here is that to make it easy, to start the game off right, to fit the idea of the free trader and not to be a detriment to your group, you've never played the game before, it's probably best as a negotiator that you're probably a peddler. Why? I don't know, because peddlers can probably peddle wares. And what do free traders want to do?
They want to sell stuff.
Yeah. Now, could you pick one of the other 2, which I don't know what they are off the top of my head? Yes. But this is trying to start you off right. It's not forcing you into it. All right. Now, the pilot, you probably want to be a freighter pilot. Why would you not want to be a fighter pilot?
Oh, well, unless unless you bought a fighter ship and you work for somebody who pays you to fight people, which is probably not going to happen. Well, no, not right away. It won't happen right away. Then that's not going to help you a whole lot.
I'll zoom in on this a little more so you folks can actually read what it says here. Now, you might want somebody who's a technician who can fix the dumb ship, right? You want your Kaylee?
Sure.
Is that her name? Kylie? You need a deckhand. Hey, look, man, somebody's got to do the gopher work.
Yep. Or, just manage stuff on the ship.
Fair. What kind of a quartermaster? Yeah. By the way, the game is designed to be played with a total of 6 players, a game master and 5 others. Doesn't have to be, but that is the core design of the game. And we'll get to that a little bit. Probably want a ship worker, somebody who, again, can oversee the cargo. But you probably combine these 2 together.
Oh, that's your loader, unloader guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are both ship workers. So, I mean, they're both going to be capable of the other, but one would focus more on being a stevedore. The other would focus more on, making sure that the windows are clean. Sure. And of course, you're going to want you might want a soldier. Now, you might think in the free trader that this is probably the least necessary one, and I'd probably agree with you, but boarding operations are a thing.
Yeah. It also said in the beginning of the free trader thing that you have to run blockades and sidestep Corsair ships and all that stuff. Boarding is, that is a foreseeable outcome of some of this stuff, and you're going to want to be able to repel boarders, and you're not going to do that with Bosun Jimmy, the ship worker. He's just going to die hard to whatever gets thrown at him, So yeah, I get it.
So some of the other ideas in here are mercenaries. I'll leave that on the screen so you can get that.
That's a good one.
We also have explorers.
Sure.
Agents.
Agents of what? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's right.
Well, let's look at what it says since you brought that question up. Burn Legionnaires are not always the best tools for a faction. Sometimes more subtle means are required. This is where the agent cell comes in. Typical jobs for a group of agents might be infiltrating Dabaran courts, assassinating dignitaries, tracking down lost relatives, or just keeping the scum on Coriolis in check.
Okay.
And the concepts are adjudicators, which we were just talking about adjudicators in the game we talked about before in Elysium. You could be assassins. That's great. Or
Sweet.
you could be detectives for hire.
Okay.
And then it goes into the concepts that you could use. What would a soldier do? You'd probably need an officer for organization, yada, yada.
Sure.
And the other one is you could be pilgrimage. And this is the one I suggest you don't poo-poo. I'm not saying it's the best one. I'm just saying don't poo-poo it. Because
so wait. For a pilgrim, their end result is to stop playing?
Well, to build up its own society somewhere.
Yeah.
And traveling workers taking jobs so they're to be found. And that way you can have like a ton of side quests, Monster of the Week type campaigns. Traveling circuses made up of entertainers and performers, yet also people who hear conversations and things that they probably shouldn't, that they use for information. And space nomads, perpetually trudging the starry void. This could be used for all of the other ones. You get access to products that maybe somebody else wouldn't because you've been traveling all over the place. Sure. You might have contacts other people don't. You've seen wars, and you've what were they called? The people that would go after the battle's over and go take all the silver and gold and weapons and so forth,
pulling people's teeth and taking their boots and stuff.
Yeah,
you shoot those bastards on sight.
Okay, there you go. And then you have your starship or spaceship. Sorry, PCs will begin play with the spaceship. Decide together as a group which spaceship to pick using the rules, and we'll cover Chapter 7 in the 7th video in this series, which will be like 3 weeks from now. Most logical choice would be a ship suited to your group concept. But hey, you know what? If you want to have a fighter ship and be long haulers, that I suppose you could. You can also choose to design your ship from scratch using the ship construction rules, which we'll look at in Chapter 7 also.
Okay, now I don't want to get too far ahead into Chapter 7, but just one question. Do you get a certain amount of points in building your ship? And if so, can you split it off into a main ship and a launch craft of some kind?
It's all about money. You're just going to have 50% debt.
Okay.
There is a I haven't done this in a long time. Sorry, I have built a ship, but it was a long time ago. There are limiting factors. There is a type of point system with like the number of modules you're allowed to have on a ship based on its size. But I don't want to talk out of my ass here because I don't remember exactly what that was.
Okay.
Believe me, before we get to Chapter 7, I will have built 2 more ships just to make sure I have that process down. But it's been a long time since I've done that. Debt. As you begin playing, you will not entirely own your spacecraft unless, again, you're a game master and you think outside the box and do your own thing. Depending on the ship type you choose, a sizable debt will lie between you and calling the ship your very own. Somebody else is going to have the deed to that thing. I don't need to go through. Basically, you're going to owe somebody money. We don't have to read every sentence here. Group talents. This is important. I don't know why I zoomed out. When creating... what's that? It's Sunday. Have you tithed today? Crafty's been a member for 32 months.
Woo!
Thank you for re-upping your membership, Crafty. Appreciate that. And when creating a group, pick one of the talents connected to your group concept. We are going to look at those. Everyone in the group can use this talent. It's not a different talent. There will be options, but the entire group has the same talent. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, well, those talents aren't all that useful. They're useful in exact specific circumstances that they're supposed to be useful in. Okay? They're not magic powers. They're not supposed to be something where you always win. But their talents are described in Chapter 4, which will be next week, but we'll see the list of them today. I think. Pretty sure. Confident. Patch and Nemesis. The Third Horizon is a hard place, and getting anywhere without help is difficult. It's become something of a tradition for smaller ship crews to ally themselves with powerful benefactors. As a group, pick a patron from your group concept list below. So let's just look at the free traders for now, because it was the first one we looked at before. You can pick any one of these three. Now, of course, the game master might have his own. Or you can come up with your own concept. This is to get you started. I've never played the game before. I've never run the game before. Let's just go with this. All right. There's nothing wrong with you.
Never let a player group pick their nemesis. It just seems like a bad idea. I mean, you don't choose to make someone your nemesis.
Again, this is a game. And Free League loves the concept of players developing their own, I hate the term, but we'll go with the backstories with regard to this.
Gross.
That's how all their games are developed. So anyway, I had left that on the screen long enough. Okay, those are still okay. The player character. All right. So you're done with the group there, right?
Yep.
So you picked your group talent, or you picked your group type, you picked your concept, you picked your talent, you've got your nemesis, you've got your benefactor. Now let's make your individual person. We're on step 6, and this is going to look very similar to the Year Zero stuff that we covered previously. But in case you didn't watch those videos, choose your background, choose a concept, determine your reputation score, choose a name, choose your appearance, distribute attribute points. This is the first real thing that matters. All these other ones, well, concept is important as well. That's your character class. But the rest of these are just things that you kind of want them to be. Reputation score should actually be down here, shouldn't it? No, because your concept determines your attribute points. Never mind. Distribute your attribute points. Determine your hit points and mind points. We'll talk about that because that is different from the other games. Distribute your skill levels. Choose a talent. Randomly determine. Notice it's in italicized. Randomly determine your icon and icon talent. It's like determining when you were born for your birth sign. That's actually what it is. I didn't choose to be born on the day I was born on. It was, randomly determined by the universe, or when my mom and dad, did the nasty. Choose personal problem. I don't know, methamphetamines. Choose your relationship to the other PCs. They give me methamphetamines. Choose your gear and choose your crew position. Probably the airlock. Crew position is something that other games have done. I've seen it in Stars Without Number. I've seen it in Starfinder. Although I think this game came out before Starfinder, if I remember correctly. This crew positions are what you would think they would be: captain, engineer, helm. I forget the other.
Bose and Jimmy.
What's that? Bose and Jimmy. There you go. Jimmy. So pick your background, where you're from, how'd you grow up. There's an atlas that if the game master has it, you can help use for your origin. Origin means both which star system you come from and whether you're first comer or Zenithian. Remember, those factions are important. An important part of the Third Horizon history is the 2 waves of colonization that swept across the systems. All right, we talked about that. Sorry, there I see a table here. Roll to determine your home planet on table 2-1 on the next page. The origin is no mechanical effect. It merely tells you something about who your PC is. You could also pick your planet by working that with your game master. Or the game master say you all come from planet X. I don't care. Upbringing. Are you from a remote colony or a remote colony in the jungle that now covers a ruined metropolis from the first wave of colonization? Or did you grow up among the traveling nomads, going from planet to planet? Crap. It's just another one of those long sidebars. Or station to station. Yeah, it's another long sidebar. Living off odd jobs or selling handicrafts, etc., etc. You can choose between the upbringings: plebeian, stationary, or privilege. And this is going to determine your reputation, your skills, and your attributes. Remember, before he not complains about this, this is a game, and this is what is supposed to separate whether you have more attribute points and less skill points, or more skill points and less attribute points. It's your balance and how you want to make your character. Humanites. What is a humanite? Well, let's find out. Not everyone in the Horizon is a normal human, or a pureblood, as the old hegemonists would say. Some groups of people are biosculpted. We haven't talked about this at all. These humanites, as they're called, are often found in primitive tribes on distant planets or abandoned space stations. Common folk view the humanites as subhuman and dirty, but they're usually superbly fitted to life in the environment they were designed for. You can only choose to play a humanite if you choose the upbringings plebeian or stationary. If you play a humanite PC, your starting reputation is halved. 1 for plebeians, 2 for stationaries, and we'll look at that chart in a moment. In return, however, you get a talent connected to your biosculpting, and we'll look at those in Chapter 4, so next week. Read more about humanites in Chapter 10. So we're going to learn about the biosculpting before actually reading more about these guys, because we're going in chapter by chapter order here. All right. Character concept. This is basically your character class. Okay. Context, your subconcept. When we look at the class at the end of today's video, you'll see what your contacts are. Subconcept determines what network of contacts you will have access to. All right. So there's a little chart here for your home system if you want to roll on it. And now we're going to move on. So here are the concepts and subconcepts. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this. I'll leave it on the screen. I'll zoom in on it so you can see it, and then we'll move to the side there. We already looked at some of these, like we looked at negotiator, right? That for the peddler, for the free trader. But the 3 options are agitator, diplomat, and peddler. We looked at, where's the pilot? Pilot, driver, fighter pilot, freighter pilot. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do any of the other ones. It just means you have a focus, all right? But some of these we didn't look at. What the hell is a data spider? Well, a data spider is an analyst or correspondent or a data djinn, which is a computer dude. This is your IT guy. Remember, it's an Arabic-focused game. It's going to use some... He has computer magic. Just go with that.
There you go.
So, and you can see the
super hacker.
There you Stop making letters highlight. All right. Name and appearance. Do you do that on your own? Reputation. And well, let's look at the reputation right here. We don't need to read that when we can go here. You can be plebeian, which you get 15 attribute points because life is hard. And you probably have a little, you needed some extra wisdom to do the farming. You needed some extra strength to lift the boulder, whatever. Or you can be privileged. That life of luxury where you sit down and do nothing. But apparently you had a lot of time to study.
Yeah, makes sense.
And reputation 2, 4, or 6. And bird, this is the money of the game. Ships cost in the hundreds of thousands and millions. So you start with, if you're lucky, 5,000. Good job. So we'll get to attribute points a little bit later today, and we'll get to skill points a little bit later today. So, all right, let's move on. We're going to get to our attributes right now, it looks like.
That looks like a kid wearing his dad's clothes. Come on. It does,
doesn't it? Yes, I said the same thing when I first saw it. Now, skill levels in this game, skill checks are done a little differently, and we're going to talk about them next week, not today. But I just want to be upfront with you. Skill checks are done a little differently in this game. Or I'm sorry, the success levels are a little differently done a little differently in this game. That's why you have skill level. If you have level 1, you're a novice at it. You're brand new to it. 2 is capable, 3 is competent, 4 experienced, 5 master. 1 to 5 is maximum. And when we talk about skills next week, we'll understand the difference. I don't think it talks about it here, maybe it does, but we'll understand the difference between general skills and advanced skills. The quick version of it is this. General skills can be used just like the other Year Zero engine games. Advanced skills, you must have at least 1 point in it to use it. That's the main difference. And you're right, that does look like a little kid. I mean, it's all flowing on the ground.
Yeah, man. I mean, daddy's off to war and he left his spare uniform and gun and I'm going to show mommy, and then you accidentally shoot your brother and then it's all bad. It turns bad real quick when kids play, soldier with real guns.
Yeah, the art of this book is absolutely fantastic. I just wish that the book wouldn't fall apart. Strength. So again, let's look at the 4 attributes. I didn't talk about die rolling. I didn't grab my Coriolis dice either, but I can do it with these dice. I'll grab the Coriolis dice. Oh, nope, I didn't put the dice there. Never mind. Oh, right. So do you remember the Year Zero engine dice that we used that had 3 types of dice?
Mm-hmm.
Attribute dice, skill dice, and gear dice. Yep.
Yeah.
This game does not have that. This game has 1 type of die.
Okay.
Or is it 2?
Skill die.
Shit, is it 2? No, aliens 2. See, we'll get to it next week when we talk about skills for sure. But I'm pretty sure it's 1 type of die for this game, if I'm picturing, because I don't remember there being another color. You roll everything together. Science fiction gear doesn't break. Also, this game, as you can look below, right on the screen there, doesn't have where if you take damage, it goes to strength. If you take fatigue, it goes to agility.
Yeah.
If you take doubt, it goes to wit. No, you either take hit point damage or you take mind point damage. So how is that done? Well, we'll look at that in just a moment. You can read on the screen, but you have strength, raw physical, strength, and physique. So if you're trying to do something that's related to strength, a skill like force, you roll your strength plus your force, roll those dice. That's how many dice you roll.
And every skill tells you the requisite attribute, so you can add them up and do all that stuff right away. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about, and again, most of this is going to be covered next week, but you don't have to worry about the issues of pushing the roll that you did before. You have a whole other set of things you have to worry about when pushing the roll in this one. We'll talk about that next week. But that's how this game is done. You roll your attribute value. So let's say it's a 3 plus your skill value. Let's say it's another 3. You roll 6 dice. 6s are successes. Everything else is not. That simple. Okay. And then here you go. These are the 4 attributes. So now we move to hit points and mind points. Very simple. Add your strength and agility together, you have hit points. Add your wits and empathy together, you have mind points. Easy peasy. Yep. And once again, there's our kit. So how many that's skill points? Let's do attribute points first. There's 16 skills in the game. We got that. General and advanced. These skills are divided into 2 groups, general and advanced. We already looked at the list. Each skill is also connected to one of your attributes, which I just talked about. You can always roll dice for general skills, even if your skill level is 0. Just roll the dice for the corresponding attribute. To use an advanced skill, you need at least a skill of 1.
That makes sense. It's differentiating things that you can do without training, like lifting things and punching somebody. You can still do it without any training, but fighter pilot, hacker, no, man.
Surgeon.
Surgeon, whatever. You need to have training before you can even attempt something like that. So I get it. Yeah.
Yep. When you create your PC, you get a number of skill points to distribute across your skills. There you go. It depends on if you pick plebeian, stationary, or privileged. So you could have 12 skill points if you're privileged. But that means I don't get all the skills, correct? Probably aren't even going to have half of them.
You're probably only going to have 4, maybe 5.
Does it tell in here about the 3 and the 1? I'm not. Oh yeah, it does. Crap, I skipped it, but I shouldn't have. When you no, actually, this is the point we're at. You get a number of skill points to distribute across your skills. How many depends on your upbringing. You can set your concept skills to a maximum level of 3. Again, we will look at that when we get to the character. Every class. So remember, in the Mutant Year Zero game, you had a specialty skill, right?
Sure.
Well, in this one and also in Forbidden Lands, that we'll talk about in a few weeks, you have this concept skill, which gives you 4 or 5 skills that you can have. Every other skill can only start at 1. Your concept skill can start at up to 3.
Okay, so
kind of gives you that focus.
Okay, so if you're the max skill guy, 12, and you have 4 concept skills, you can get them all at 3, but you won't have anything else.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So talents. Talents are tricks, cheats, and abilities that give you an edge over others. How many talents did you get when we did all the Mutant Year Zero games?
I want to say between 1 and 3. 1. Okay.
Just 1. There's theoretically a way to get more, but we never covered that. You could get 1. This game you'll start, I think, with 3 or 4.
Nice.
You'll have your group talent that we already talked about, right?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it. We didn't explain
Correct.
it. Correct. Yeah.
You'll have your personal talent, and you're going to have an icon talent as well. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. More specialized in skills and are a way to further detail your PC. Talents are described in Chapter 4, which we'll cover next week. You have 3 talents at the start of the game. Oh, it says right there. 1 from your group talent, 1 from your character concept, which is like the roles from the Mutant Year Zero, and your icon, under what star were you born, so to speak. You can acquire more talents during play, just like the other games. So there are 9 icons. Can you go ahead and roll me D66 if you have 2 6-siders next to you? If you don't, I can roll them.
I do. 16.
16. You were born under the Dancer. So just remember that going forward. When we talk about this character, yep, your icon is the Dancer, and we'll have to find out what that is later.
Isn't there a song about that?
Maybe.
Yeah, it probably is.
All right, well, let's
like Tiny Dancer, I think it's called. It's like a 70s song.
Yeah, again, whatever. Maybe. So 9 icons. I'll show them on the screen for people to look at, but we're only going to read the Dancer. So the 9 icons worshipped in the third horizon are described briefly below with their symbols in parentheses. You're going to love the symbol for the dancer. Read more about the icons in chapter 10. The dancer,
Right.
a sweeping shawl.
Make it bigger, please. A sweeping shawl. Okay. That's already great.
The dancer is the icon of inspiration and perseverance. Sometimes
Okay.
a woman, sometimes a man, mostly androgynous. The
Gross.
dancer represents the bond formed in the union between two lovers, but also unbridled lust when appearing as the musician, playing a lyre. Or, I don't know, is that circa? Or Syrah?
Sarah.
Syrah?
I don't know. But that is awful. I was literally born under a bad sign. That is
You
horrible.
were. Well, let's see. We'll see what it gives later. So you got the gambler, the merchant, deckhand, traveler, messenger, judge, and I think
I'm
there's
Judge. I'm Judge Dredd. Yeah.
there should be one more. The faceless, right? Yeah, the faceless. No symbol.
Yeah, no face. Duh.
All right. So you come up with a personal problem. Something before the beginning of the game that still haunts or threatens you, perhaps a mortal enemy, a dark secret, or a strong addiction. We already picked meth, didn't we?
Yeah.
Whatever
Or
it is.
space math, whatever that is.
Space meth. There you go. Whatever it is, your personal problem. Relationships. I probably shouldn't skip this, even though we've covered this like 40 times in the other games, because they might not have saw those other games. As you enter the game, you already have a relationship to the other PCs. These relationships will affect how you gain experience points and are useful tools for the game master to create suspense. When creating your PC, describe your relationship to each of their PCs with a short sentence. Don't give a 30-page background. You don't need that.
No.
It's just a sentence. Your concept lists a few suggestions to choose from. Also, you'll have a buddy. When you've chosen your relationships to the other PCs, you should pick one of them as your best bud.
Chewie.
BFF. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Your best friend in the group. Check the box next to that person on your character sheet. Crew position. All right, this is another important aspect of the game. This is why I say the game is based for 5 players. You can definitely do more. You can also do less. You're going to have a captain, an engineer, a pilot, a sensor operator, and a gunner. And each one of those is going to give a special benefit. And if you remember seeing on the character sheet, there are skills related to this. So decide as a group who should have which position. The crew positions are mainly important during space combat, which you can read more about in Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is going to be a big one.
Apparently so.
That might take a couple of weeks. Gear. The last step in character creation process for you to pick your starting gear, which your concept will give you a few choices, and we will deal with that later. We already looked at how much burr you start with the game. Encumbrance, because apparently they put that in this section, not in another one. Encumbrance is like all the Year Zero engine games. So each of your possessions should be written down on a row under gear. If an object is not on the list, you don't have it anymore. You've dropped it or forgotten it somewhere. But I remember you gave it to me. Well, you didn't write it down. Generally, you can carry a number of items equal to your strength doubled. So if your strength is 3, like we talked about before, it means you can carry 6 items. I actually word this differently. I call it lines of items. That's just a personal preference. You don't have to do that. Note 1 object per row on your character sheet. However, there are these things, and this is why I do that. There are things called heavy and light objects. Extra heavy or cumbersome objects are harder to carry. An object deemed heavy will count double and thus take up 2 rows on the character sheet. 2 lines, it's costs 2 lines. Some objects may even require 3 or more rows. Okay, there are some items that do that. There are also objects considered light. They only require half a row, meaning you can have 2 light items on one row. And when you write in your character sheet, you can have half an item here, half item there. Tiny objects are tiny. You don't have to write them down unless they get so bulky that they get to the point of, okay, you now have a pretty big bag of something of marbles. That's at least got to be a light item now.
Yeah, when the bag was empty, you could just roll it up and put it in your pocket, and it's not really going to take any space. I get it.
Over encumbered, you can temporarily carry more than your normal load. If you do, though, you must roll a force skill each time you attempt to move any long distance. If you fail the roll, you must either let go of what you're carrying or stop where you are. Same as...
Okay. That's actually good, because Bosun Jimmy has to move cargo around, and we don't need to buy that forklift because he could put his back into it. As long as he doesn't have to move it too far, he'll be fine.
All right, I put that on the screen for people who want to read it. Luckily, the character classes take up a lot of pages, and we're not going to spend too much time on that. All right, so improve your character. PC will not stride unaffected through the third horizon. All right, so you're gonna, as you play the game, you're going to gain experience points. I personally would not use this list, but we are covering what the book says. Okay, I would steal Palladium's system for this. So, how do you get experience points? For every question you answer yes to, you get 1. Did you participate in this session?
No.
Then you don't get 1.
Not for that.
Did you overcome a difficult challenge to help your crew to reach its current goal?
I literally worked really hard not doing anything today.
Okay, then 0. Did you put yourself or your crew at risk because of your personal problem? Yes, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. So yeah, obviously I did because I didn't help at all.
You get 1 experience points for not doing it.
That's so far. Let's keep going. I could be a winner here.
Did you learn something new about yourself or another PC?
Yes, by not doing anything, my ears were open the entire time.
Did you sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddy?
Pass.
Did you act in accordance with your icon?
It depends. Do I have an icon of sloth or laziness?
No, of dancing. Of actually, wait a minute, hold on. I think that's the opposite of you. Hold on, that was 2 pages up, if I remember correctly. Where's the dancer? You have dancer represents a bond formed in inspiration and perseverance. Well, you persevered by not doing anything. You'd have to reach for that. I'd say no.
That'd be a hard sell. So far, I got 2. I every day I can just sit there, do nothing. As long as I don't speak and keep my ears open, I get 2 points.
There you go. The GM has the last say on how many XP each PC gets. Oh,
damn it. There's always a backdoor crushing thing coming in. Damn it.
After the experience points have been handed out, you're free to change relationships with other PCs. Because as you grow as characters throughout, you can use the group dynamics thing of forming, storming, norming, performing, journeying. You can use those phases of group dynamics in here and be like, you know what? I thought Heathen Dog was cool, but all he does is he sits down in the back, takes his meth and shakes in the back. No, this dude needs help. I'm changing the relationship with him. We're going to get him some help. But when you've gathered 5 experience points, you can take an advance. I don't know. I remember reading that before saying that's dumb.
Take an advance. That sounds like borrowing. Then why do I need 5 experience points if we're going to have an advance? I have 5 already.
Right? You can spend 5 experience points to learn a new talent or raise a skill.
Take an advance. That is a really, really bad phrase.
Yeah. But we'll go past it.
Maybe in Swedish, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it might. When you've taken your advance, raise 5 XP and start getting new ones. When you've got another 5 XP, you can take a new advance. All right, you're free to save XP as long as you like before using them. So you could bank 100 if you really wanted to.
I don't think so because I think the XP is on the character sheet and there's only so many boxes.
Well, you can go past those boxes, sir.
No, you can't. If
unlike radiation,
you can't do it.
Okay,
I'm not letting players bank up to 100. What is that? What are you, an idiot? No, because they'll hit a situation like at the beginning of an adventure, they have like 50 experience points banked. It's like, oh no, we're gonna do a lot of fighting in this. Oh really? Okay, I got 5 and everything.
No, you do this at the end of the session. It specifically says at the end of the session, do this.
At the end of the first session, oh, there's gonna be a lot of fighting. Okay, then I'm gonna get 5s and everything. Haha, suck it, chump.
Fair enough. Changing
Jedi.
Changing your reputation. Your reputation in the horizon can be changed by actions you take in the game. This is decided after the session when XP are handed out. If you've done something generally considered good and heroic, your reputation is increased by 1. If you've done something generally considered evil or destructive, your reputation is decreased by 1. Now, this next one, I've seen a lot of Coriolis players or game masters change. Your reputation can never go below 0. There's homebrews out there where people actually have infamy.
If it goes negative, it becomes infamy. Yeah.
Yep. So, but your reputation is publicized. All right. So where are we now?
Remember, if you are an assassin, which you can be, your whole group could be a group of assassins.
Yep.
You want your reputation ideally to be 0 because you don't want to be noticed going in and out of places. That's not fun for you. The worst assassin in the world, walks into a bar and everyone says, "Hi, Bob." No.
Bob the assassin?
Yeah, hey, Bob the assassin. Hi, Bob. No,
hey, you're the guy known as Darkstalker, aren't you?
Bob the Darkstalker, killer of children and women. No, you don't want that. You don't want that rep, okay? You don't need it. All right, continue.
Now, we're to the character classes. Or, sorry, the...
Concepts.
Concepts, thank you. Artist. Icons live through poetry, songs, and books. You've dedicated your life to that of fleeting moments of iconic beauty that your art creates. You know that no culture is stronger than its art, and you intend to make sure the Third Horizon is remembered for something other than chaos, war, and destruction.
Okay, this is perfect for my character who is addicted to space math.
Okay, so
Perfect concept.
then pick. Do you want to be a courtesan, a musician, or a poet?
Ooh, either musician or poet because they are riddled with drug addiction. So that'll be perfect.
Let's go poet. You seem like a poet.
Poet. I'll go with poet because I can be a little fagula. And it's okay. Because I can wear a shawl because it's my icon and it's fine.
Your words are your art, and they stir strong emotions in your audience. You might be a salter serving a church of the icon, a street poet, a border space singer, or a Tarab from Algo. Goal.
I don't know what a Tarab is.
I don't know what any of those are either. It's like half the words on there. I've heard of salter before, but I've never actually used it in a sentence, I think, until now. So reputation is +1. Notice in a lot of games, artists have negative reputations because the lowest caste of society. Well, in this one, they get a bump in reputation. Nice. Your key attribute is empathy. Oh crap, we didn't talk about key attributes. Means you can have a 6.
Right. They're like in all, and not all, but many of the other games from this system. Your concept will determine your main attribute, very much like D&D, where fighter strength, thief dex, whatever. And during character creation, that attribute can be higher than the others because obviously it's a focus of your concept. You would have spent more time building that before you start the game, in your backstory. So it makes sense.
Sorry, I keep confusing Forbidden Lands. Key attribute, you can have a 5 because you can have between 2 and 4 for your other attributes, but your key attribute can be a 5.
Sure.
It's not a 6. So, all right. So where are we? Down here. We're talking about the artist. All right. So the artist gets, what do we say? So you pick poet. So that means your 4 concept skills, and your concept skills are the ones where you can raise to 3 at character generation. After that, you can raise your skills how you want. At character generation, you can have manipulation, culture, dexterity, and infiltration.
Perfect. Manipulation and culture, outstanding. Gets me more drugs
and money.
And money. It's great. Money for drugs. Get more drugs. Get more money. Get more drugs. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Now, this culture will probably be more seedy, more like streetwise.
Well, yeah, it helps me get drugs.
Yeah. All right, let's look over here. Your appearance you can choose. That's just ideas. Now, you get a choice of 3 talents. You only can pick 1, but you can pick beautiful, defensive, or seductive. Unfortunately, We're not going to... Okay, that's biosculpting.
Don't care. Beautiful.
Okay. All right. So write that down so when we do talents next week, we can make sure we look that one up. Please.
Oh, okay. I don't have a pencil right here.
Oh. Well, we'll just remember you were supposed to be beautiful. Maybe chat will remember you were supposed to be beautiful.
Maybe chat will remember you were supposed to be beautiful. Oh.
Well, over defensive and seductive. I mean, obviously the courtesan is going to take seductive, right? You don't have to. But... All right. Sure. Personal problem. You get very jealous when others succeed. You're insanely stubborn, never give up. Nope. Faction, you have somehow angered is out to get to. Yeah, we already know that. Yeah, spaceman. Relationship to others. These are just examples to get you started. Pick your own gear. Now, do you want a hand fan or a tabula?
No, I don't know what the.
You have to pick one. I don't either. I'm hoping a tabula is actually like a note pewter, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Hang on, let me check.
You have this book?
Nope.
Oh.
Allows you to extract. No, that's not it. Tabula. Okay, dictionary. Got it. English meaning. Doublet of table. A plate or frame on which a title or inscription is carved, a table, index, or list of data, a legal record, a writing tablet. We're going to go with that.
That might be what it is. I mean, I can look it up in here, but okay. So you're going to pick the writing tablet or the hand fan?
Well, I've already picked beautiful, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to pick any of those. I want to pick
No, you
exquisite clothing.
no, you get one of these. Which one do you want?
Okay. Tabula.
Okay. You'll have money, remember, based on what you pick, plebeian, stationary, or whatever. You'll have money to buy stuff. Okay, do you want an opor, which I have no clue, opor, which I have no clue what that is, or an environment scanner?
Okay. The opor is doesn't say. That's great. It's a verb. I don't know how I'm gonna. Oh no, there's a noun. Plural of opora. It is. I still don't know.
Okay.
I still don't know what
fine.
that is. I mean, I'm looking at it and I don't understand. So
the book will describe
environmental
it.
scanner. No, just stop doing it. Tabula, environmental scanner, exquisite clothing. I already got beautiful. So rare collection of poems, perfect. And memoirs of Maisel. I don't know what standing reservation. Standing reservation, obviously.
Now, is this a resort or a restaurant? I don't know.
I have no idea, but standing reservation at my local drug den. That could be my drug den.
Go.
There you go.
All right. So that's the artist. We're not going
to. Ron says Oprah is a drug. Then I got that.
Well, there's your space meth.
There's space meth right there. There's my space meth. Perfect.
All right. Data spiders.
We got it.
Yeah, you're a data spider, carefully weaving complex net of data gathered from the most obscure sources. You're a researcher. You might not be the sharpest dressed or have a single burr to your name, but you have information. Information is power. Looking at it real quickly.
You know what you can't do? Eat information.
That is fair, but you can get information so that you can get paid to eat.
Yeah, but where'd all the money go before? Obviously, you burned it somewhere. Space meth.
Analyst, correspondent, datagen. Here are you get no bonus or minus to your reputation. Wits is your key attribute, and those are your concept skills. And I'll pause on this just a little bit so you can see what they are, but we're not going to go through them right now. And gear. All right, what's next? The Fugitive.
Okay.
He looks.
Let's
young and tattooed. Well, no, we're going to look at all of them. Just overview of all of them. Criminal, mystic.
What?
You are on the run.
Fake one, right? No, read that, because it's gotta be some kind of flim flam, man.
You are on the run, stigmatized and possibly being tracked. Your past life is gone. Now you're a prisoner to nightmares and the crippling anxiety over what trouble your powers will cause next.
Your powers.
Yeah. Remember, there's magic in the game. Or psionics, or however you want to.
Or super psionics, yeah, whatever. Okay, fine.
Or you can be revolutionary. Reputation -2 because everybody hates you.
Yeah, you're a criminal, dude. What do you want?
I mean, look at this. Revolutionary, criminal. Criminal. Mystic, criminal. That's why you're a fugitive.
Yeah.
And here are your, if you can see this on the screen, those are your skills. What gear do you start with? Anonymous clothing. Ooh.
Anonymous clothing. Okay. No, that's a disguise. I like the disguise. Okay. Or a tag with extra $500.
Protective clothing.
I'm sure anonymous clothing costs less than $500. Why is this here? $500, man. I'll take the money. Yeah, I'm going to give you a gift card to Best Buy. No, you're not. You're going to give me money. You're going to give me money.
So you can get 500 burr, protective clothing, a Vulcan carbine, an exoshell, and fake identity. There we go. I'm ready to
go. I mean, this is easy. I mean, this is the easiest would you rather in the game. That's not even a choice.
You do have to start with mystical powers in order to have mystical powers.
No kidding, really?
So,
are you serious?
Somebody might.
Okay, all right.
Negotiator, this is your diplomat type character.
Yep.
Should be a little easier to figure out. Agitator, diplomat, peddler, +1 reputation, empathy, and those are your skills down there. Let me scroll in for people who need to. Talents, faction standing. Oh, look at this. What's CYB? We haven't looked at CYB yet.
Cover your butt. Duh.
Cover your butt. Or cybernetics.
Oh, cybernetics. Oh, cover your butt with cybernetics. Okay.
Yes, you can cover your butt. Lie detector. There you go.
There it is.
And the gear that you can start with. Remember, just pick one from each row.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next one. Operative. This is for your, infiltrator. Your ninjas. This is your Arab ninjas.
Space Bond.
You can be a spy, a guardsman, or guardswoman, because that clarification was important, or assassin. And agility, of course, because you're going to be doing a lot of range combat, and reputation 0. And those are your skills that the spy, of course, would want data gen, because you're going to hack into those computers, get information, use that information. Manipulation, because, James Bond, right?
Yeah.
Infiltration to actually get places, and you're going to want to shoot people. So those are some pretty good skills for.
I mean, that's all easy, steal information, get some strange, and get in, get out, shoot them up.
You can be licensed.
I'm a licensed assassin. I have to pay taxes and everything. But
yes, but
I have a health plan.
Well, you also can carry arms and weaponry without getting in trouble.
Yeah, but if I'm an assassin, no, I'm a general spy. If I'm not an assassin, then yes, I would want to concealed carry stuff. But if I'm an assassin, I don't want you to know I'm carrying anything. That's
license to kill, baby. Also, Secret Service.
That's true. Yeah.
And there's your gear. Poison, 5 doses. What's that?
A Vulcan cricket.
It's a gun.
It's a gun. Are you sure? Is it like Men in Black, the noisy cricket? That would be bad. I don't know. That's a prank.
Pilot. Perfect. Obviously, we should know what pilots do, but you can be a freighter pilot, fighter pilot, or a driver. If you're playing something, if you want to drive that golf cart all around Coriolis, because you're staying on Coriolis, with your little, like they do at the airport, they're like, get on my way because you're standing in my way. You can do that.
I mean, ideally, you wouldn't be on Coriolis, you'd be on a planet, but I get it.
0G training.
Sure.
Exospecialist. And, a cybernetic of a targeting scope. I bet you it doesn't put a worm in your eye.
Hopefully not. That would be ideal. No worm.
And there's your gear. I think we have 2 more, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Oh, no, we got more than 2 more. Preacher. I forgot about the preacher. Remember, religion is an important thing.
Yep.
So do you want to be an ascetic, a missionary, or a prophet? Pick one to read. We'll read one of these. Ascetic, missionary, or prophet.
Prophet. Okay. They're really annoying.
You have seen the icons' faces, or creatures from beyond the darkness. And the people must know. You are a revivalist preacher, a flagellant, one of Alam's dance masters, or maybe a Sugoi shaman. A whole bunch of words I have no clue about. Reputation +1, because religion is incredibly important. Empathy, of course, because, that's the attribute that gets people's emotions. And the prophet is force, so it means you're strong. That's interesting. Culture.
I have to beat the message into them.
Well, that isn't fighting, though. That's just moving shit.
Oh,
that's like moving a boulder, pushing stuff.
I have to move the word of God into their. I don't know. I got nothing.
It's like you're a bag lady or a cart lady.
There you go. I gotta carry all my stuff because I'm kicked out of all the places I go.
There you go. Talents: blessing, faction standing, or talisman maker. Because the evil eye is a thing.
Obviously, blessing. Duh.
And then you could have blessed scripture, talisman, reliquary.
What is a What is that? Thurible?
Where's that?
Thurible?
I don't know. Thurible.
How do you spell that?
THURIBLE.
It is originated in 1400s, late Middle English. It is a censor. Okay, it's one of those little smoky on the chain things that the priests throw out. Yeah.
Why can't you just call it a censor? But hey, whatever.
Because that's the English word, and they wanted to use the non-English word. So
you can be a scientist who has actually put that wrench into too many electrical outlets.
It looks like either that or she's related to Doc Brown. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Hey, good. And from there, you can be an archaeologist. You can be a medicurg, which is, of course, your doctor, or a technician. And
I want everyone to like me, so I'll take the doctor.
You
don't screw over your doctor.
You work with healing and improving people. You're a cyber doc.
Oh, that's also cybernetics. That's good. I'm a cyber doc too.
Physically as well as spiritually. Nope, not you.
Oh, damn it.
You could be a biosculptor on Ozone Plaza, a Samaritan with the Order of Pariah, or perhaps a field medic with the Legion.
Sure.
And metallurgy, manipulation, observation, and science. Manipulation is your psychology skills, so there you go.
Okay. So I can trick people into getting worms in their eyes. Awesome.
You could be a field medic. You could be a tech, or you could come from a wealthy family. So that's you're the wealthy Asian. You're the wealthy Asian kid.
Talent. Okay, stop. All right. You're taking privilege a little too far. Just because you got lucky to be born in a wealthy family doesn't mean that's one of your talents.
It starts you off with the game. Remember, these things are just tweaks. So it starts you off the game. If I remember correctly, wealthy family starts you off the game with extra money. I don't think it has lingering.
Explain talents earlier in the book. It was gifts in certain type of skill, and being born to a wealthy family.
I mean, we can read that. Well, let's read it again. This page is at 47. I don't remember where talents were, but it was before all of this. 47.
Couldn't you just type in 47 in the top?
Well, no, that was page 47. I don't know what page.
Oh, okay.
I can do this though, although my computer does not like to catch up. Oh, there are a lot. Oh, shit. Okay.
There you go. Oh.
Yep. Let me zoom out because I can find a character concept, reputation, attributes. So it's going to be right after skills, talents. Ooh. Talents are tricks, cheats, and abilities that give you an edge over others. Having more money gives you an edge over others. They are more specialized in skills.
Trick, a cheat, or an ability. I mean, it's none of those things. It's just circumstance.
It's a cheat. It's a cheat.
No, it's not cheating.
They are more specialized in skills and are a way to figure or further detail your PC.
Yeah, but it's not a skill. It can't. Okay, never mind. You know what? Move on. I have a problem with that.
You're way too pedantic about certain terms. You really are.
Because of the way words are defined. I have a problem with that. All right. Go ahead.
No, the game just defined them right there.
Yeah, incorrectly, but all right. 47.
Yep, I'm almost there. Okay, then we'll go to 48, which is a ship worker.
Ooh, ship worker. That's Jim the bosun.
That's a Jim. Deckhand, deck worker, engineer, -1. Why? Because you're just a laborer.
You're just a bum. I'm a deckhand. Deckhand, definitely.
Strength. Oh, you want me to read that one? It's the little things that make sure a spaceship and its crew can function, and you work with just those little things. You're a captain's aide, a chef, a master deckhand, or maybe a janitor on a spaceship. Space janitors.
Yep, probably all of them.
If anybody has not watched that, it's old as hell now, but go watch Space Janitors.
Yep.
Who put that out? It wasn't Comedy Central. Who put that out? It's just an indie thing, but
yeah, it was a long time ago. I forget.
Anyway, exo specialist, tough 0G training because you're gonna have to go outside and fix crap.
Tougher 0G. That is.
We'll look at them next week.
Yeah. That is a toss up. Gear, tool,
hyper rope,
vacuum sealer. Nope, vacuum sealer. That's it. Vacuum sealer. Power glove. Don't know what those two words are.
I don't need.
Exo loader. I'm the male Ripley.
Yes, you are.
That's it. Hyper rope or Dura knife. I don't know what a hyper rope is. It sounds cooler than a Dura knife, but a Dura knife I think would last a long time if the name means anything.
I mean, hyper rope, man.
I'm going to go hyper rope just for funsies.
Okay. Now we got the soldier. I think we can all figure out what soldiers do, right?
Yep.
You can be a mercenary, a legionnaire, mercenary, and officer. Legionnaire is like an enlisted man. Mercenary, you get paid to fight. Officer, you got more leadership stuff. Yep. Reputation is -1, though.
That's weird, though.
Because, again, religion, art, culture is important in this game. Not shooty shoots. And everybody's pissed off from the last war.
Crusader.
People don't want your bloody nonsense.
Cybernetic muscles. That's not even. Don't even read the other ones. That's not even a choice. Come on.
Combat veteran. If this is like the normal one, this is a initiative bonus.
Hey, you know what's really easy? An easy way to become a combat veteran? Never lose a battle with your cyber muscles. There you go. All right.
Yeah. Okay. When we look at cybernetics, I don't want you to be too disappointed.
Heavy armor, duh. Not even hard. Vulcan carbine, not even hard. Frag grenade. We already got cybernetic muscles. So frag grenade, command unit or advanced scope command unit, communicator or med kit. Communicator. It's the doctor's job to hold the damn med kit. Come on. Right tool for the right job, people.
And Trailblazer. I think this is the last one.
Trailblazer.
So you can be a colonist, a prospector, or a scout.
Prospector. I'm looking for gold. Call me Yukon Cornelius.
I can picture you with a big beard down to here, your hat, your overalls, your pan. Get ready to go. Ever the seeker of new worlds and new riches. For you, there are always new expeditions to be planned. You could be a colonial agent, an asteroid walla. Okay. A robber digger? Robber digger. Or perhaps a nomad. I don't
I
know.
think
Being called a
robber
robber
digger
digger.
means grave digger or grave robber. Yeah, I think it's grave robber.
We'll
I
go
mean,
with it.
technically it's underground, right? So technically you're prospecting for loot.
Wits. You pick products so you can be a pilot because of course you got to find the stuff. Technology because you have to be able to get to the stuff. Science so you can understand the mineral excavation of the planet.
Sure.
And so those are actually some pretty dang good skills.
That's all around good skill choices. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
I like the prospector.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's be prospectors.
Boom.
All right. So what can you get? Well, weatherproof.
Weatherproof. Oh
Sorry,
man.
the name of it just makes me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're covered in cellophane apparently.
I'm water resistant.
Yep. Yep.
9 lives. That sounds like it could be important. Or rugged. No,
9
rugged.
lives or rugged. I'm not
Rugged
sure what
just
they both
fits it.
do.
Come on.
I'm not
Gotta
sure
go
what they
with
both do,
rugged.
but it's probably going to be rugged.
You
Probably.
gotta have that old look. You're only 30 years old, but you look like you're 75. You're grizzled. There you go.
Yeah, just say grizzled.
All right, and then the gear. Recon drone.
All right, here we go. Yeah. Recon drone. Dura-Axe or Vulcan carbine. Dura-Axe doesn't take bullets. 5M doses, I don't know what that is, or a database. I don't know what 5M doses. I'm gonna take it because it's funny. Waterproof, get out of here. Exoshell, done. Environmental scanner, yes. Compass, I don't care where I am. I care where the loot is. Environmental scanner. How hard is that?
And guess what? You can always buy a compass.
Exactly.
Oof, is that the last one? That was the last one. All right, we went through all of that. Is the process for creating a character. Next week we're going to cover skills, talents. I think it's just skills and talents. Let me go. Hold on. Let's go up here. There it is. We're going to cover skills and talents. It's just 2. Normally it was 3.
Yep.
But we don't have any mutations or anything weird to worry about, except for, well, they fall under talents. And I'll have the dice for you next week as well, just so you guys can see what the dice, how they work.
How they roll. Okay.
Yeah, well, you're going to see that with skills anyway. But skills and talents, again, it's going to be kind of long, but we'll get through it. Talents are going to be more fun. We're not going to read them all, but skills also talks about how to actually roll the stuff, praying to the icons and so forth. So, well, you're just like, oh, that's only, 14 pages? It's 14 dense pages.
Copy that.
But thank you for putting up with this time here. Again, if you actually want to see the process, step by step of character creation, I have a character creation video. Hopefully I put it in the description below or in a card above or something like that. I'll get that in the playlist. But all right, Heathen Dog, show us some questions before people like, subscribe, and share.
Okay. Well, we got Halcyon saying, I was young and needed the money. That doesn't count. We were talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what we're talking about. All right. Rex Teal says, I like that Free League games have that style, the artwork. It would help kick off a sandbox game without making players feel aimless, which people seem to. Oh, no. The opening where you're in debt. You have to make money right away. I get it.
And concept. Yep.
Yeah, I get it, but I just think it's lazy.
Oops. Why am I still sharing here?
I have no idea. All right. Per says, artwork, boy, they start their soldiers young. That was the kid in Daddy's Clothes.
I mean, I don't know how the Arabs do it, but if it's based off Africa.
Crafty says, sorry, it's been a little in and out today, power-wise, hurricane and all. Yes. And
how's that set? What I'd like to know is the hurricane with the winds and the sand in the area. I know it's not a direct desert, but it's desert-ish. And as somebody who's lived in New Mexico and Kuwait, if those winds, the wet winds kicked up, it turned into this brown, muddy haze. It was just weird.
Ugh, that's gross. Halcyon said, oh, hold me now, tiny dancer, Elton John. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 1970.
You know, you're saying a lot about yourself today, Halcyon. I mean, Elton John, the previous comments. I'm just saying.
There it is. He also says, no ship doctor. We found the doctor. We found him. And he's alive. He's well.
Just say you need a character with a Medicurge skill.
Yeah. And then he said, damn it, Jim. Don't talk to my bosun like that. And Fladley says, drugs are bad. Okay. No, they are not. They are not bad until
you abuse
can't get any more. Then they're bad. But they're great as long as you got more.
Oh, he just turned PG-18.
Oh, yeah, the wind's picking up again. Flexing his windows.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys aren't built. You don't have double pane or anything out there,
yeah,
do you?
your construction did not have hurricanes in mind. Did not. And that's it.
Right. This sounds like any other space opera game with all the
Oh
equipment.
yeah, but you don't know what the equipment is because it's renamed. It's all Arabic based instead of Latin, French, English based like we're used to. So you'd have to look it all up. Of course, you might fail like I did. Still have no idea.
Well,
What that
the
word
book
means.
does describe them, but yeah, that is one thing to maybe I should make a little bit more clear for people who come in late or don't watch the whole video. The game is Arabian Nights in space. Think Firefly, just change all the Chinese to Arabic. That's really the easy way to think about it. And yeah, I would throw that out as well. I would say censor, not whatever that word is that he looked up, because I'm going to be sitting at a table of probably Americans to talk about it. But if you are good at evoking those kind of themes, then I suggest you go with it. I'm not. Even like I said, I lived in Kuwait for a year. I still could not evoke these themes properly. If you can, go for it. I would just turn it kind of like Heathen Dog took out Goth from Mage the Ascension.
Yeah.
And made it.
And Vampire.
Yeah, well, and Vampire, and just made, I mean, still played by all the rules of the game, but took
Yeah, it was
that
still
theme out.
dark, gritty, all that stuff, but it wasn't whiny and bitchy and self-flagellation and cutting and all that stuff. Like, get the hell out of here.
I would take the Arabicness out of this game.
Yeah, toughen up or kill yourself. That's all I gotta say.
So, all right, well, thank you everybody for watching. Once again, like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to talking to you about skills and talents next week.